Running heavy autonomous AI tasks like deep web research, mass code execution, and daily memory compaction will burn through cache at an alarming rate. The standard protocol requires routing your agent through the Anthropic or OpenAI API. You build the instruction, send it out to their servers, and pay a toll for every single word generated and analyzed. This bar chart shows exactly how fast the math escalates. A casual chat session barely registers on token consumption, but an autonomous agent running continuous background processes will easily chew through 10 million tokens in a single month. When you structure your workflow exclusively around these metered endpoints, you do not actually possess an AI. You are paying rent to access a corporate reasoning loop. Your agent's core logic and memory are inextricably tied to an external pricing tier. Heavy, productive usage actively penalizes you financially. The financial drain exposes a critical technical weakness: uptime fragility. If a cloud provider adjusts their terms of service, implements a strict rate limit, or suffers an outage, your agent immediately flatlines. Your workflow remains completely dependent on the operational stability and shifting policies of massive, centralized organizations. But the alternative is the sovereign stock. This architecture hijacks existing flat-rate subscriptions for primary heavy lifting and anchors the agent's memory directly to bare metal. By cutting the metered compute cord and securing the data locally, we remove the external points of failure. We glue this architecture together using a runtime environment called OpenClaw. Look at this flowchart to see the core exploit. OpenClaw severs the connection to the metered API entirely. Instead, it routes the agent's heavy reasoning tasks through your active ChatGPT Plus or Team browser session using an OAuth bypass. Because you are routing through a standard $20 monthly subscription, the marginal cost for running a 10 million token agent drops to absolute zero. You retain access to state-of-the-art models for complex problem solving, but you strip away the financial punishment. But what happens when OpenAI rate limits your session, or the primary network drops entirely? The first layer of the fallback chain silently and automatically redirects failed queries to Google's Gemini Flash, utilizing their generous free tier to maintain high-speed execution. If your internet connection completely severs, the system hits the local emergency layer, booting up Gemma 4 via Ollama entirely on your local hardware. Managing massive local models requires specific physics, making Apple Silicon the dominant hardware for this local fortress. This diagram compares the two architectures. Standard PC rigs force data through a tight bottleneck between system RAM and the GPU. Apple Silicon relies on unified memory, a single massive pool that allows gigabytes of model weights to swap in and out of the processor instantly. When you combine redundant cloud fallbacks with unified local hardware, you build an inference engine that simply refuses to stop working. Compute is only half of the equation. Paying cloud providers to embed and store your agent's memories leaves your context critically exposed. The solution is a local memory engine. We run a localized ChromaDB instance to store concepts, alongside nomic-embed-text, translating raw language into searchable vectors directly on your motherboard. Its identity is a local directory of 3 text files. soul.md sets personality, user.md stores preferences, memory.md autonomously writes evolving context from distilled daily interactions. Every memory generation, embedding, and retrieval occurs securely on your local disk. These local markdown files function as sacred artifacts, the permanent, physical manifestation of a digital mind answering only to you. You combine a $20 compute hijack, unified hardware memory, and an entirely local vector database. You have achieved zero fragility, zero marginal cost, and true digital sovereignty. The mind you use is finally the mind you own.